Behind me is the 2016 Toyota Tacoma. This is the third generation of the Toyota Tacoma that came out in 2016 after 10 years of the previous body style. Now, I recently sold my 2006 Toyota Tacoma with 210,000 miles to make this upgrade to the 2016 Tacoma. And when searching for a truck, it wasn't an easy decision. There are a lot of really good options out there. And I, compared a lot of the other competitors with the Tacoma. And when it really came down to making a decision for me, I decided to stick with the Tacoma because of the unmatched reliability and resale value. I felt that there were other trucks that were a little bit nicer as far as ride quality and some of the features that they offered. Certainly the price point, I think on some of those others you get a better value, but you can't beat the reliability and the resale value of the Tacoma. But since I've had my Tacoma, I've come across a few things that made me question, okay, is the Tacoma actually as reliable as it's been in the past? It's long time had a great reputation for being one of the most reliable cars available on the market. But I've seen various comments on some of my videos alluding to possible transmission issues. And then most recently, I purchased a copy of Consumer Reports and was shocked to see some of the results. The Toyota Tacoma was actually rated as the lowest scored compact or mid-sized pickup available in the United States, which to me blew my mind. Typically, Consumer Reports is a big fan of Toyota products. Tacoma's obviously had a great reputation for reliability, and so I want to go over what I found in the Consumer Reports. So here's a copy of the 2017 Consumer Reports. Now, Consumer Reports has been a great resource for consumers to look into products on the market, ranging from toaster ovens to dishwashers to automobiles. Gives unbiased reports on the usability of products, on ergonomics, on reliability, and it's been a long time reliable source for that type of information. And so, unlike many of the car magazines where the manufacturer will loan a product to the magazine's going to have some responsibility to at least give it some good reviews or feedback, or they're not going to be loaning them their vehicles anymore. With Consumer Reports, they actually go out and they buy their own vehicles loan their own vehicles or pay for a rental or whatever, and collect consumer data to put together information on the results that they come up with. Now I'm gonna pull up the section for subcompact pickup trucks. Now, I think part of the issue on why the Tacoma, at first glimpse, it appears that it's very unreliable and an undesirable vehicle when you look in the magazine. But when you pull up the category, what you'll find is there's really only 3 competitors in the category. And so what I would argue is that actually skews the results for the Tacoma. So you've got the Honda Ridgeline, you've got the Chevy Colorado and the GMC Canyon, which are basically the same truck, and then you've got the Toyota Tacoma. So there's basically 3 vehicles in the category. Now, the Honda Ridgeline is the only vehicle that they recommend, and it received the highest score in the category. So personally, I don't even think that the Toyota Ridgeline should be in the category. I don't think that it has the same utility capabilities that you've got in the Colorado and the Tacoma, but that's another argument. For the sake of what Consumer Reports offers, the Ridgeline is the highest in the category. Some of the reasons why I don't think it should be in the category is they're scoring it based on ride and noise, driving position, seat comfort. Well, the Ridgeline isn't really a heavy medium duty pickup. It's basically a car that looks like a truck, and you've got a bed that you can put some things in. But you're not going to have the same towing capacity. You're not going to have the same durability for utility purposes. Now, then you've got the GMC Canyon and the Colorado, rated second in the category. It's not really given a great score in the category either for reliability. It's considered moderate. The interesting thing is if you go to the back of the Consumer Reports, they list each vehicle. So let's go to the Chevy Colorado, and they give ratings for various criteria. They've got engine, transmission, drive system, fuel system, etc. So if we look at the Colorado, I don't know if you can see this on here, the 2016 Colorado, it gets the highest score in every single category until you get to the very bottom. At the very bottom, it gets the second highest score for in-car electronics. So one score down. So basically one, let's say, point or score away from a perfect score, and it gets a medium rating for reliability. So you see the Ridgeline, which interestingly enough isn't even in the book because they just came out with the Ridgeline, so I'm assuming that's predicted reliability just based off of past experience with the Ridgeline and Honda products in general, which are very reliable. And so the Colorado, being that there's only 3 cars in the category, it scored down 1 point on in-car electronics, and so because of that it gets a moderate score for reliability. Well, given that, if the Colorado scored down for just that small minor infraction, the Tacoma is going to have a perfect score for reliability relative to Colorado to get a good score for reliability, or even to get an average score. What we find instead of that is if we go to the Toyota Tacoma, you've got, again, I'll show this in case you can see it, you've got near perfect scores throughout the categories. You've got a couple items here where it gets the second highest score, and then you've got a couple where it's average. So the categories where that is included, you've got transmission minor, where it's scored down a category. I mentioned that there have been some concerns about the transmissions on the Toyota Tacomas. From what I understand, it's a programming issue, and the transmission will kind of jump around, search a little bit for the correct gear. It's something that I've noticed with my Tacoma, and I might have been concerned about it if I hadn't already read about it and heard that this was kind of a common characteristic on the Tacoma, so it hasn't concerned me from a reliability standpoint. And you know, for me personally, I think that it's just a refinement issue, but I imagine that people have taken it in to get programming changed, or you know, to have it looked at, and so that's brought the score down a little bit. You've got drive system, minor issues there. My Tacoma's got 27,000 miles on it. From the records from the previous owner, it doesn't appear that there have been any issues with the vehicle. I haven't had any issues with it myself. The transmission, I've noticed that it's a little odd. Drive system, I haven't noticed anything strange there. And then the other categories we've got in noises and leaks, it gets an average score. Again, I haven't noticed any noises or leaks on mine. That's very minor, fairly minor overall. And then again, in in-car electronics, it gets a moderate score. I haven't noticed anything in that category on the Tacoma either. Unfortunately, given those 4 items, the fact that the Tacoma has scored either, you know, a step below the highest or a moderate score, despite the fact that you still got, you know, no major transmission issues, engine issues, you know, not really that much to speak for relative to the Ridgeline, the Colorado Canyon. It's less reliable, and so it gets this big fat double arrow down red for much worse than average for reliability on the Tacoma. So unfortunately, for the time being, the 2016 Tacoma compared to the competition is being scored by Consumer Reports as being unreliable. My prediction is that long term, over the life of the vehicle, that you're going to see that that's going to level out a little bit, where maybe there have been some minor issues with the first model year of this new generation of the Tacoma. They're probably going to work out some of those issues. A lot of those issues are probably going to be taken care of under warranty for 2016 owners, not really be issues long term. And then I think that compared to the auto market in general, over time, the Tacoma is still going to be a reliable vehicle on the market. So if you've got any comments or feedback regarding the 2016 Tacoma or the new generation of the Tacoma, leave them in the comments below. I'd be interested to see what you have to say.